My advice for B2B PMAX is to just try anything. Don't shy away from it, using it, even with a small budget. Give it a test, because I've seen some of the best results in some of the smaller accounts. It's just a PMAX campaign with a tight audience that I want to target with to begin with. And I've seen great results from it, especially when their organic search doesn't have great presence yet, like a new brand or a new business. You can get a real good result from that. So my advice is to always go against good words advice and test out PMAX with a small budget.
Hello and a warm welcome to this episode of the PPC Chat Roundup, the podcast where I round up our discussions in the world of paid search, whether it's on Slack or from Twitter, or wonderful interviews that I have with our PPC experts in our industry. I'm your host, Anu, and I'm recording from my studio here in London, UK. And I use this platform to share not just expert, but also my considered best practices about paid media and the direction the digital industry is going in. So yeah, the wonderful voice that you heard here there just before our kickoff is my dear friend and longtime paid search expert, Chris Ridley. Welcome, Chris, to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me, Anna. It's really good to be here.
Also, yeah, I've known Chris for quite a while, and I thought we were saying just before the recording started, this is really the first time we were like on a chat about PPC, because we talk a lot about PPC online, whether it's Twitter or LinkedIn. But when we're talking, we're usually talking about our mental health, helping each other just get through the day, because life is tough as you grow up and you've got an adult and a lifestyle that nobody prepares you for. Where is the adulthood manual? Like, Chris, did you get one? I feel like I didn't get one.
Well, I didn't even get a parenthood manual either, so they must be lost in the post somewhere for me.
Oh, yes, we need to get someone to, fast track that. But yeah, before we get into our chat, if you want to keep up to date with my tips and tricks in the industry and get the latest on this podcast and us promoting when it comes out and more episodes that's going to come up, please follow me on the Marketing Anu, or follow me on my LinkedIn, on my name, Anu Adikbola, or check us out at PPC Chat _roundup to get quotes and snippets from our previous episodes. So let's get right into this chat. So for Chris, for those who don't know you, please tell us a little bit about who you are, what do you do, which company you work with, and any other tidbits you'd like to let us know.
Yeah, I'm Chris Ridley. I work at Evoluted as the head of paid media. I've been there for 4 years and I've got over 6 years experience in Google Ads and paid media and digital marketing in general, really.
Amazing. You've got like a whole bunch of experience, quite varied. I looked on your LinkedIn and you even put there your life of when you used to work at a bar. I used to manage that. Like, what drew you to the world of paid search?
Yeah, my time in hospitality were actually really instrumental to my digital marketing. That's where I started running like ale festivals. I started advertising online about the events I was running at these bars and pubs. And what got me into digital marketing after that was actually a redundancy in my role at the time, where I had 3-4 months without a job, and I spent that actually learning on lynda.com, which is now LinkedIn Learning.
Yeah.
I literally just took in everything I could. I treated it like a 9-to-5 job, just educating myself. And I then got my first job in the stainless steel industry. It's a complete strange industry to start in, like a lot to learn. But I still work in that industry now with some good clients and some people I've known for my entire digital marketing career, really.
Thanks for that, Chris. That's really great to know about that. So I'm gonna ask you some questions based on this Slack discussion that our good friend Julie Beccini runs, and the latest one, like a recent one that we talked about, which I found very interesting, was about account structure and whether it matters anymore. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and obviously we're in the year of AI. We're going to talk about a little bit about like PMAX and demand gen and how AI works in our recent world at the moment. But yeah, let's get to some of the first questions that was asked. Does account structure even matter anymore?
My answer is a big yes on this. Being able to control the data and the targeting that you have at your disposal is crucial. And the best way we can do that is through the account structure, really.
Amazing. And do you feel it varies by platform on how people should approach it, or is it like one size fits all?
Yeah, I think with a lot of things in digital marketing, it depends based on like the vertical you're in, the business size, your budget, the platform you're using. Microsoft Ads and Google Ads are completely different. But then even if you go into paid social, that's a whole nother kettle of fish where you can't be applying paid search mentality to it.
No.
And I think you can get away with some simpler structures, especially with smaller budget, but you're not sacrificing that data visibility and performance efficiency, really.
Excellent. And have you changed the way you structure accounts and or campaigns? And if so, does that vary by platform or so?
Yeah. When I look back at accounts that I used to run like 6-7 years ago, I used to have so many campaigns and so many ad groups. I even had SCAGs, single
Oh,
groups as well, which don't exist anymore. And
I hope so.
so
Service really doesn't exist there. If anyone's running Skies right now, you're on my annoyed list. Don't do that.
yeah, if they're doing it and getting good results, I'd be super impressed just because of the push on broad as well. I think it's they're redundant now, if anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you can have different account structures based on different platforms. But it also depends on your budget, your overall strategy and objectives as well.
Fantastic. And what are your biggest frustrations that you're finding on how you need to do things now?
Biggest frustration for me is about the whole prioritization that Google Ads and other platforms are putting on automation on these smart campaigns. It's really making all of our accounts a bit shallower, less granular than what they used to be. Like I said, they used to be loads of ad groups, loads of campaigns. There's no need for them now because exact match isn't exact anymore. Phrase match near enough just broad. And it ends up catching all the data anyway. So those additional ad groups you would have had are redundant now, like the last.
Yeah.
That's the biggest frustration for me, the lack of data from that as well.
Yeah. Is there any point to broad?
If you ask Google Ads reps, yes, broad.
Well, we're not asking Google. We're asking you, Chris. Is there any point to broad?
Yes, I think there's a use case for it, especially if you don't want to do a DSA, dynamic search ad campaign, but you still want to mine for new keywords and search terms. Broad is the way to go there.
Yeah.
And all I'd say is just make sure you've got a reasonable budget and you are going through those search term reports with a fine-tooth comb, making sure you get adding your exclusions and taking any good ones and turning them into phrase or exact match keywords in your other campaigns.
Yeah.
And so there's a use case, and the doomsayer in me would also say we have to use them because eventually phrase match may disappear and we'll be left with broad match. So that's another scary thing.
Yeah, that's true. I think what just before I waved my white flag of this account management life, it's not for me anymore because now my role is predominantly pretty much doing this PPC education, whether it's through with Search Engine Land, where I write on there, or whether it's with PPC Live or other podcasts, this podcast. Yeah, I really did feel like doing account management, like the match types. It was phrase and exact. Phrase for discovery of new keywords and exact match for control. And I think, that whole point of like phrase might go away so that Google is trying to really push us towards use broad for your discovery of keywords. And obviously they don't want us to give a lot of control to it. So it's always broad that they're pushing, but they get rid of exact match. It makes me think of another guest that I had on here who was like, they can't get rid of exact things like exact match or manual CPC, especially because of the lawsuits that was prevalent last year, because it's all about, oh no, we're not monopoly. We do allow our advertisers control of what they're doing. So if they take those away, they're really like going against that. So I feel like we're safe with phrase one or the other, phrase or exact match. But I do say I am inclined to agree with you that one of those is going to go very soon. I was actually thinking it'd be more maybe exact that they will get rid of.
See, I think we might see something where these search themes that they've pushed into performance max will start taking a bigger role. And I think broad match keywords will turn into searched themes and search topics and like search categories. And exact match will just become keyword. We'll literally just have one keyword match type, which will just be keyword. And then you'll have search themes and they'll do keyword as exact in brand safety and other stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it's going to go. So we won't lose keywords, we'll just lose the match types.
Okay.
I think it's a future we'll see.
One thing I was also interested about when you were talking about using DSAs, what I've perceived is that PMAX can pretty much, I've never really run too many PMAX campaigns. I don't think I've even done any, but like PMAX really can do the job of what DSA campaigns do. Do you feel that DSA is another one that is soon to go?
Performance Max can do the job of a DSA, but it does more than just DSA as well. That's the issue you've got. Like, they will do display, they will do video, they will do shopping if you give it a shopping feed. I think the issue you've got there is Performance Max isn't good at just doing one thing. It always wants to do everything.
Everything, yeah.
And if you don't have the budget to do everything, or you've got strong reasons why you don't want to do display or video, you've got to go through a lot of default settings to stop it from creating visual assets for you or stealing it from your website or from other aspects of your account. I think DSAs still have a place, maybe for these digital dinosaurs like myself who prefer the old way of Google Ads when you had broad match modifiers and all these other nice features. And those that want stronger control over their targeting and what they're actually putting out there and where it goes. Because another thing is placements on Performance Max as well.
Yeah.
They've recently had a big, massive, bad PR in terms of those questionable, illegal websites that have been getting ad placements. So I think really DSAs are the safe option compared to Performance Max if you want to protect your brand.
And if you could change something in a platform to make account or campaign structures better or easier, what would it be?
For me, it would be just ensuring greater data visibility and targeting control. So allowing negative keywords in all campaign types, controlling the placements to appear a lot easier. At the moment, we can just exclude placements. I prefer we can actually choose the placements we want to appear on, rather than having to exclude the ones. And the return of truth as much as well, giving us more control on what we target. These would be absolutely perfect changes for me, in my opinion.
Do you think that could ever happen, or should we just put that to bed?
If true exact match is never coming back. If someone, I think it was Boris, said it really well, where he said, Google is a business and they will always want what's best for business. And that can never align with what's best for advertisers. I believe he did a LinkedIn post about it. And it's true. Year on year, Google is getting more and more profit and revenue from Google advertising. And this is because of what the DOJ said about them shaking the cushions and them changing, parameters and changing the landscape of digital advertising to make it easier for people to spend money with Performance Max, demand gen, changes to match type, functions.
Yeah.
So I don't see any of my dreams coming true. A boy can dream, can't he?
We can dream. Why not? Why not? And it's on, not just on this podcast, but also even on the events that I run that you so very kindly are an ambassador of with PPC Live. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to come together with what our possible dreams of the paid search industry is, of our dreams of what we wish Google will do, but not just dreaming, actually talking about the practicalities of what we can do right now. Dreaming has a place for it, but I think it's very important that we do focus on what is within our capabilities of doing. There's lots of misinformation out there. People will put this gauntlet down and be like, yep, you can't do, let's say, PMAX does not work with B2B, like things like AI is going to take over all of our jobs. And people are just saying all these kind of things. PPC Live is one of those events that I love, bringing the PPC experts together, coming together, where people who you wouldn't really hear from, who are not necessarily people who like shouting off on LinkedIn, you will hear about what they're testing, what they're trying, what's working, because a lot of what all these statements are being said, it's very much, it depends. Yes, it may not work every time. There's a lot of testing and learning that needs to be done. So we get a lot of those test cases, use cases that are being talked about PPC Live. The latest version was really great because we had one speaker talking about how she's A/B testing different AI platforms on different copy, on how copy can be improved. And that's not even anything I've thought about. For me, A/B testing ad copy is all about testing one ad copy against another ad copy. She's like testing ad copy from one, let's say, Chat GPT, and testing it compared to, I don't know, Claude or DeepSeek. I wanted to say not deep fake, DeepSeek even. DeepSeek and all these other AI platforms that are out there. They're not going to take over your job, but they can be used. So yeah, we talk about that. We're going to be streaming the online talks, and that'll be done by another really good friend of ours, Jill Saskin Gales. So that will be streamed on the 20th of February. That'll be the first time it'll be streamed, but even if you're listening to this after the 20th of February, go check it out on the link I'm going to share with the show notes. You'll still be able to watch that online. So please go check it out.
Oh, that's brilliant. Because I put myself down to actually attend that recording live because I wasn't able to attend. Yeah, it was brilliant.
That would be nice. Thanks. And yeah, Gokche and Barris are two of our speakers. Actually going to also join a live Q&A there. So for those who'll be able to join online live at that time, that'll be even be better for you so that you can ask Gokche and Barris any questions that you have. Getting back into our chat about PPC, what would you say is the best types of campaign for e-commerce campaigns? Would you use it like e-commerce retailers, advertisers?
Yeah, if I had to choose one campaign type, I would go with Smart Shopping. It's been really good for actually getting the targeting that you get from Performance Max, but then also having a bit of control that you get from standard shopping as well.
Yeah.
Evoluted, we've actually just won a few awards for what we're working on with Puckstop, an online hockey and brick and mortar store.
Yeah.
And what we did, we actually used search shopping,
Mhm.
and we then just controlled when the search ads appeared based on their organic rankings. And that really helped keeping that shopping always present, but then controlling when our search ads appeared. We saw great kind of leverage from that. We got some really good incremental sales from it as well. Well, I'd always shop for Smart Shopping. Don't forget your search campaigns. Don't forget display as well. They're really good as well.
Lovely. And best campaign type for LeadGen?
For me, I think it's all about what type of business you're in and the volume you can get. Microsoft Ads, using their LinkedIn profile targeting overlap with the standard audience segments that you can use, is a must, and especially using the search campaigns in there. But if you don't have that volume, or if you're like a brick and mortar and you want to get people into your store, I absolutely love using Google search campaigns with hyper-focused location targeting. We're currently running it for some hospitality, so some nightclubs and bars.
Yeah.
We're in London and we're literally targeting just like a mile radius, and we're getting really good results from that, getting people booking in, getting people inquiring about, and that's working really well for us.
Amazing. Sounds nice. And before we go into all the exit questions, where questions that I ask pretty much everybody, just a few thoughts on AI and how you see people in the industry are using it. What's one thing that makes you nervous about how people use AI in their paid search campaigns currently?
I think what makes me nervous is the blind faith a lot of people have in it, especially when it comes to their like keyword research or ad copy. I've seen some ad copy where you can tell it's written by AI, where it doesn't pick up the brand or even the service correctly.
Wow.
Like misrepresent the business. So it's really making sure that we're using AI to make our jobs easier and more efficient.
Yeah.
We're cheating our customers for our own development. That's a big thing.
So yeah, another one that I didn't quite prepare you for. Sorry for throwing curveball at you here. But yeah, Veronica, another good friend, we were chatting yesterday about AI overuse and even like how the view of the search results keeps changing again. And for two of us who have been in the industry for over 10 years, we remember the time where paid search ads were on the right side. Do you remember those times? And then
Just one more time, yeah.
yeah, just And then, yeah, when Google decided, oh, yeah, we want to put more priority for paid search ads and put it right at the top and push SEO down, there was like, yeah, a big of a hoopla. And now I actually feel that's what AI overviews are going to now do. Because when there's an AI overview for an answer, you don't see the first paid search results till further down. Right. So how do you think a change like that now is you feel gonna affect the industry?
I think as it rolls out more and more, we're going to see the real impact within the Google Ads accounts, where we're going to see our click-through rates and our impressions are just going to drop, and everyone's going to start thinking there's a drop in search demand, which won't be the case. It will just be a drop in searches that result in a click. And this has been going on for years. It was a couple of years ago where Google eventually got to a point where 50% of searches didn't result in a click. There were 0 click results.
Yeah.
With Overview AI, that's going to be a lot bigger now. And also each kind of question you ask or each little option you choose within the Overview AI, that triggers a new search result without them actually searching.
Yeah.
So you're going to see loads of different like impressions from that as well. I think there's going to be a bit of a focus about moving more to social media or doing display in YouTube where you know that your ads will appear.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be a bit more focus on the e-commerce side of getting your ads appearing within those AI overviews. I know there's some good examples last year about people searching for like bikes, and that you would recommend paid results for bikes, including like shopping, like ads as well. So I think that's going to be a focus where you see more of that integrated in.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Interesting. And these kind of things, because you work for an agency, you have loads of like different great clients. And there might be some of clients who don't necessarily know this is coming. And when that comes, they will probably worry a lot. How do you prepare a client for this because no one wants to hear that their CTRs are about to go down, whether they like it or not, regardless of what they're going to do, or their CPCs are going to go up. And you'd think that I feel some clients just expect it's coming. What can we do about it? It's like, how do you speak to clients about all these different changes that are most likely going to happen?
Yeah, it's a good question because a lot of these changes fall outside of the remit of paid media. It's a bit more digital marketing, falls within SEO and content as well.
Exactly.
And you've alluded, a big thing we do is we have monthly calls with our clients, minimum. We have regular emails. A lot of them will do like a weekly email update, and we'll include industry news in it as well.
Yeah.
So if we see something that you've posted yourself, Anna, or we've seen it elsewhere, we will then share the link with them, go, hey, just let you know this is changing. And that helps us a lot. We also run our own events with our clients as well.
Nice.
And we also just let people know whenever there's any changes, and also having like myself speaking at events like PP Live UK and then being able to share those recording with clients. That goes a long way because they can see that we're on top of it. We can keep them up to date.
That really is the best way to prevent panic, isn't it? It's that open communication, is that trust that they know that if there's anything they need to worry about, you will let them know, you will tell them about it. And that's definitely the best way. I think client management is probably 80%, if not more. Communication, good communication with your client is what gets your client to really trusting you. So yeah, amazing advice there. So if there's one thing that you wanted to leave people with, a big piece of advice in our industry for 2025 paid search marketers, what would that be?
My biggest advice for anyone in the PPC industry right now is you're not alone. Whether you're working in-house, whether you are like wearing multiple hats, trying to do every job beyond PPC as well, or if you're a freelancer just being a bit isolated, or you work an agency side and you feel the pressure of managing multiple clients, hitting those targets and staying within the budgets that's been agreed, you're not alone. Like the PPC community, like PPC Live UK and the WhatsApp group and everything else we have there is so supportive, and it's becoming even more inclusive of our industries as well, with events in Brighton, London, Manchester, Nottingham, Sheffield, and many other cities, just list in the UK alone.
Yeah.
You can meet other marketers, you can share your pain points and your challenges. There will always be someone else in the room who is either going through the same thing as you, or is been through it and advise you.
Yeah.
And it's what I love about our community. The PPC community is so supportive, and There is no real judgment or competitiveness.
Yeah.
Everyone is just there to help each other because we all are just trying to get our head around all these changes that are coming to the search results, to the ad platforms, analytics, everything. So, yeah, you're not alone.
Amazing. I love the sound of that. And I think a lot more people really need to really understand that. It's been such a privilege of mine. People are always like thanking me for the stuff I've done. And I take that to heart. It's really nice to hear the gratitude. But I've loved doing this. I felt like I knew there were people out there who felt alone. I felt alone at some point in my career at the beginning. And I just have this thing where I'm like, I don't want other people to feel this way. This is a shit feeling, man. You feel like you're the only one struggling through this. You're the only one not getting this thing. And you're in the client side and you feel like, oh, if you ask your boss this question, you might look stupid. And they might be like, oh, why did we hire you? You're the one that should know these things. So it's really great to have a community of people. And honestly, and even if my look that way in the UK, I was definitely not the first to do this at all. We had during the COVID years, especially, is where it really came out, the supportiveness of our community. The Julie Beccini, who amazingly started our PPC chat group on Twitter, first of all, and then we've gone on Slack. Now, she was really an inspiration for me to be like, yeah, we do have stuff to say and frustrations about this. The walls have come down in terms of PPC folks also being nervous that if I share my ideas, someone else will steal it. And then that's it. I'm not special anymore with my ideas. We don't need to be so afraid anymore. And I really, another little bit of a tangent. I really think about these kind of things where I see people with their titles like, I'm the PPC Ninja Warrior. I'm like, dude, what? For the love of you. People try to, I feel like some of those guys are really trying to be like, I'm going to stand out tonight by showing I'm the best. Somebody has mentioned to me and sent me a WhatsApp saying, oh, I know, how can I help? I live and breathe PPC. I'm like, I don't live and breathe PPC. So I don't know where we're going here. I'm not the person that's going to help you out with your trying to live and breathe PPC, because there's a time and place for it. There are people who want to help you out. There are people who, especially for freelancers, I really want a community of freelancers where they can take holiday knowing someone will help them with their job while they're away and they can come back and continue to be collaborative. The PPC industry is so much more collaborative than it's ever been.
Yeah. I'd love to add on to that. Over the last year or so, there's been a new community called Freelancing Friends.
Sure.
Started up in the UK. And they've got a Slack account and like a Slack server. And that's really good for you just sharing like challenges you've got or asking like, hey, I'm not a paid social expert. Is there a paid social expert that could help me with this client? They're literally sharing clients, or they're like, I've got too much work at the moment. I need to cut back. Can someone take this client on for me? Like, it's a really good community, which for freelancers, it's just nice. And there's just people organizing like meetups as well.
Yeah.
With events happening like Brighton SEO, which is lovely to see. So
amazing.
A story I haven't told you, I know actually, is one of the first experiences of seeing you on stage was at Brighton SEO, probably 2021. You were moderating, paid search and social, and I was like you were like a celebrity on Starstruck seeing you on that, and I'm like, I know you from like Twitter, but then it was before we started talking, and you really helped me start doing public speaking and doing podcasts like this. Yeah, like, just shows how you stepping up and doing all that it helps me realize that I can do it too. And podcasts like this hopefully help other people realize it as well.
Honestly, and that's very heartwarming. And as much as it's great to, this role has helped me buy a house and this role has helped me to be financially stable in life. Those are really the kind of stories that really warm my heart, because again, I think people underestimate how much like the people who step into this role don't want to do it alone. They don't want to be the first and last people that do it. I talk on the stage because I like talking. Clearly, I'll talk to myself all day, and I know not everybody's like that. So I'm not going to downplay the fact that some people don't have the bravery to do it. And you're talented in other ways. And in those other ways that you're talented, keep pushing into that. You're awesome. But if you do feel like you have a talent for speaking, you have something to say, and you're not sure how to get into it, DM me. Let me know how you want to get into it. It's one of the reasons I created PPC Live. It's not just about the celebrity speakers so that they're the ones that bring the thousands of people to come. It's for people who want to do first-time speaking, who want to really learn something new and test a talent that they feel that they have. Yeah, let me know about that. I'd really love to help you and uplift you on our platforms. Also, so what's your favorite agency story to tell, Chris? What's agency life like? All fun and games?
No, I'll start with my first day at Eve312, actually. So Eve312 is a full-service digital marketing agency based in Sheffield, South Yorkshire. If you can't tell by my accent, I'm based in the West Midlands, near Worcestershire and Birmingham, and it's like a 2-hour train journey up there. My first day, I got up early, got the train up there, met the whole team, met the whole company in the office. First time in Sheffield, really, so it was a whole new experience. Given a brand new Mac and all the equipment. After a long day of train there and onboarding, I got the train back. I totally didn't realise I had to change trains though at Leicester.
Okay.
So instead of going towards Birmingham, I ended up going all the way to London.
Oh, nice.
My first night. Up out the house at 6 a.m. Get there on time. I didn't get home till midnight. And now whenever there's any need for me to get a train for work, everyone at work just messaged me. He's like, make sure you get off at the right points, or if I'm going to London, they're like, at least you know how to get there.
Right.
Yeah. That is kind of like, whenever ask me like agency life, like a story I have, that is my go-to.
Yes.
But in terms of what agency life is like, it is so much faster and such a steeper learning curve, good way, than in-house, I found. Like, I learned a lot about a lot of different things, SEO, social content, even event management when I was in-house, but that's still company. But when I went agency side, that's where I really got the depth of knowledge in the specialisms.
Yeah.
I learned that in the first 6 months as much as I learned in the first year in-house.
Nice.
So it's a great environment to develop a specialism and really get deep knowledge and work with amazing people and with a range of clients.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's amazing. What's the best advice you've been giving?
Best advice I've been given was from my line manager, Giorgio, who's a co-MD at Eve312. It was to get out of my own way. I am always someone who is asking for permission or approval to do stuff, or stopping myself doing stuff because I haven't got everything ready yet. I'm a bit of a perfectionist this way. And it's always Giorgio that will be like, just do it. Don't need a check. Like, we have full faith in you. You've got this. Just do it. Or you don't need to get it perfect. Just do it now. We can perfect it later. And that has really helped me build more confidence, but also take that next step to making sure that I'm doing the stuff I want to do when it's necessary or before it's necessary. Yeah. Rather than getting myself into stress and then it's like too late.
It's too late. Yeah, that's the thing about it. We've got to be really careful as the overthinkers of us. And I say us because I'm so one of them, of where I'm like, oh my God, how about if this happens and if that happens? And if no one else has done it, maybe it's because of all the things that could go wrong. And I list all the things that could go wrong. And you're like, no, get out of your head. If you see an opportunity, if you see a possibility, if you've got enough the resources to start, it's all about having enough of what you need, not everything of what you need. If enough of what you need is there, do it. Go ahead. And make sure you're surrounded with great people as well, because it's the likes of Giorgio who will push you to be like, yeah, you can do it. That really helps you. And that's because you surround yourself with good managers like that. So no, that's
Giorgio is a really good example of pushing me as well. So my first time speaking was, I think it was 2022. I spoke at PPC Live UK in London when it was up the Shard.
Yeah.
DM, and that's an event up north in Sheffield that Giorgio and Eve312 set up. First stage talking. And I said to him, I'm not ready. I don't have the deck ready. It's not perfect. And he was like, just do it. You can perfect it afterwards. And then I took that deck and I went down to London and I did it at PPC Live UK. And I felt so much more confident knowing that I've already done the first talk, that it just went so much better the second time. And now every time I do a talk, I feel like it gets better and better. And that is inevitable, getting out of your way. And also a great way of starting speaking. If you are nervous, get in touch with Anu and get yourself on a stage, and then you get that bug and you just do it more and more.
Absolutely. It's a lovely community. I'm always so humbled and I love how the audience accepts speakers. The audience are just eager to hear someone tell them that they're doing things the right way, or just to teach them something new about what they're doing. And my whole philosophy for speakers is that the speakers come, they do a lot of work in preparing their slides and making sure things have gone the right way. I've done like several talks, and it's hard work doing the prep. Most of the time, managers, but maybe probably an exception for you, Chris, but most managers don't give you guys the time. So you're doing it maybe in the evening time, maybe in the weekend, finding the time to put these slides together. That's a lot of work that you've put in. So even if everything goes wrong on the day, I still think the speakers have done a great job. Even if the nerves gets the better of you, I still think a speaker has done a great job to even have the confidence to say, I will speak, I will prepare slides, things can go wrong and tech issues might happen. But I really am very much a big encourager of people, just give it a shot. Give it a shot. You never know. And our audience is so great. You are the brave one for even deciding that you're going to go up there to speak. So if anybody in the crowd is even trying to make you feel like, oh, you're not doing a great job, you're the brave one for daring to go up there and speak in front of a crowd of people like that. So
yeah, my time in the industry, I've never seen anyone try to knock someone down. See, community isn't a bucket of crabs with them pulling each other down to try to pull out. We've lifted each other up. Yeah. And you're right, Evoluted is an exception. We provide 10% time, which is around 15 hours a month that you can invest in your personal brand, into your personal development.
Nice.
Even a side business, if you have one, it's supported multiple employees and setting up a side business that they eventually then go on to run themselves.
Nice.
And so I've been very fortunate that I was able to do all my deck prep during work hours. Yeah, it takes a lot of courage, and everyone in the crowd wants to hear what you say. Like they repay good money, or they've dedicated good amount of time there and listen to you. And your experience is unique. The accounts you've worked on will be different to the ones they have, and the challenges you face will be similar to what they've faced or about to face. So everyone appreciates the way you do it, even if you haven't given them a success story. You can use your failure to give them advice and to warn them about what to expect. And I personally find those are the best ones, when they teach you to not make their mistakes. Because it shows how human they are, but it also shows you that we all make mistakes, and this is how you can minimize it or avoid it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the best way to get ahead. Learn from other people's experience, not just mistakes. So before we leave, let's talk a bit about imposter syndrome and how you dealt with that. Is there any one moment you'd like to share with us, and how you've overcome, not quite overcome, but how you powered through your imposter syndrome moment, and how you positively talk yourself to get out of imposter syndrome moments?
Yeah, so I'm riddled with imposter syndrome even to this day, but the biggest thing I can think of was when I got an email inviting me to a virtual roundtable with some of the biggest names in PPC and Google Ads and the Google Ads product team to talk about their roadmap in 2024 for Performance Max. Like, to this day, I still think I was only selected because Ginny Marvin was probably sick of me DMing her about all the issues I saw in Google Ads, and she thought, let's get him on a video call with me and he can get it all out and give me a month of rest from DM. She didn't get the month of rest, but seeing myself on that video call with all these amazing people like Kirk Williams and Mike Ryan and Julie Cheney, like, it was incredible being there with all these people. And I just felt like I wasn't at this level to be here. I must have been invited by mistake or something. But that kind of, everyone welcoming me, everyone knowing my name and saying hi to me when I got onto the call, that was real imposter syndrome moment. Oh, wow. Yeah.
And at what point during the call were you like, Chris, get over yourself, you're worthy to be here?
I think it was when, so the Google Ads product team opened the floor, and after they showed us the roadmap and they said, does anyone have any questions? And after I let a few people go first, I then had questions and gave feedback. And it was the moment I saw a lot of the people I looked up to were nodding their heads, or they were sending like the clapping emoji and all that. That's when I was like, okay, like I do know what I'm talking about. It was a moment when I was like, okay, yeah, I believe it.
Yeah. Honestly, till today, I've had imposter syndrome before. It sometimes still keeps his head, not as much, I'd say now that compared to when I started, but it never gets old. Just looking at other people that you're talking to, the nod, the confirmation nod. My brain goes, I knew I was right by the fact that you've got that. It really boosts my ego. I'm like, oh, thank God. I've not turned stupid all of a sudden and nobody knows what I'm talking about. It's definitely great. And it comes back to what we talk about. Like, I'm not surprised the likes of, Julie and Kirk and Mike Ryan and those guys were like, yeah, of course we're going to nod and to confirm that what Chris is saying makes sense, because that's what we like doing. There'll be those tiny things that we underestimate that even the greats miss. The likes of Kirk will, even though, he's been doing shopping for ages, he's written 2 books, he's the owner of an agency. He will be on that call and will 100%, no doubt, have heard something you said and gone, oh my God, I missed that. I can't believe Chris picked that up. That's great, because nobody is getting it all. It's just about really the paid search industry is moving so fast. I see that. There's always something new I'm writing about every day. I can hardly keep track of it. That every once in a while, I've got a really great relationship with our SEO correspondent at Search Engine Land, Barry Schwartz. And he will say, oh, I know, I heard about this news. And these days, I've known now to actually go to the PPC Live community, be like, is this new? Am I about to am I about to look stupid? Is this new, guys? Because so many things are changing. So not one person, no matter how expert they are, no matter what high level, will know it all. Yeah, which is just my way of saying, everybody, guys, get involved in the conversation. Imposter syndrome be damned. Even if it's there, get involved in the conversation. There's something unique in your brain that will come out that we all want to hear.
The best way to do that is attending events like PPC Live UK or Hero Conference, where they have panels after the talks, or getting in on #PPC chat, getting in on those. Like the conversation we had this week, like a load of people were in there. You saw just new people joining the conversation as it went on, because they had some sale, they got built up the confidence to start talking, and it's just really good seeing that community grow every week because of those conversations.
Yeah.
And that's where I started my kind of public profile as well, really, was on Twitter. It's like PPC chat.
Yeah. OG.
And, when you see people liking it and Julie shouting out your comment and replying to it, that's where you start building that confidence, knowing that, you're not an imposter in it. Like you said, Google and every other digital platform is changing so much that when I joined 6 years ago, it's completely different now. You will see stuff I won't see, because you're going to spend your time in the account more. You might be doing more B2B than I am, or e-commerce than I am. And we all have our experiences, and sharing it will just help everyone.
Yeah.
So why not?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's been a fantastic chat, Chris. But before we leave this our fantastic audience, where can we see you next? You've talked a lot about speaking. I'm sure you've got some speaking engagements this year for us to look forward to. Where can we come and see you in person next?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll be down at Brighton for Hero Conference and Brighton SEO, where I'll be talking about the award-winning strategy and tool that Evolute has applied to Bookstore to help them defeat search cannibalization and increase their return on investment on their digital marketing budget. I'll be speaking on the Thursday, but I'll be there all week. I'll also be at PPC Live UK in Brighton as well. I'll be for that as well.
Yeah.
But beyond that, you can also find me on LinkedIn, Chris Ridley. And I've still got Twitter, but I don't use it too much. But that is Chris_J_Ridley.
Lovely. That's so great. And yes, Chris has let that one out of the bag. There is going to be a PPC Live event on the 9th of April. I've not released the full details out yet, because it's going to happen this week in terms of getting our the location, drilled down on, and exactly where we're going to be. I've already finalized our speakers. There are going to be 3 fantastic speakers. One of them is actually going to be speaking at Brighton SEO as well. I'm hoping she's not using the same deck, but I don't know. I'll ask her. But it's going to be a fantastic lineup. And we're going to finalize that location this week. I'm going to get that details out to you next week. But yes, you guys are hearing the save the date. The 9th of April. It's going to start from about 5:30. More details to come out. So yeah, if you're right now in the whole booking your Brighton SEO stay, try to make sure, please, that you're there from Wednesday afternoon, evening to join the PPC Live. Yeah, and join our PPC Live community and here's like the fantastic talks. And on that note, thank you so much for you guys for listening up until this end. Yeah, if you have any takeaways, I hope you've gotten some amazing takeaways from that amazing chat that we've had here with Chris. If any feedback about the podcast or any correction that you'd like to share with us, you never know what's going on in your head. It can be really different to what we're thinking. Please let us know. Get in touch with me on Twitter. My DMs are open, or on LinkedIn, mostly on LinkedIn, hardly on Twitter, to be honest, myself as well. But all of that is on at The Marketing Anu, or just find me on my name. And yeah, as I said, there's an Instagram profile that we have. It'll also be great for any long-standing or brand new listeners to give this podcast a review, to really just help with that whole, you love this podcast, more people should listen to it. That really helps with that. On Spotify, it literally takes seconds to leave a rating. It's one of those like up to 1 to 5 rating that you can leave. So yeah, if you go to linktree.com/PPC chat_roundup, you'll find where you can do that. So yes, thank you so much. I'll leave it as that. Remember, for your campaigns and businesses to glide smoothly, there is a lot of hard work needed beneath the surface. Keep your swans kicking. Bye. And thank you so much, Chris, for joining us today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.